We've been combing the country to find Britain's most talented amateur makers.
At last, bigging up the arts, as they say, the teenagers say at the moment.
And we'll be finding out how important their items could be, things handmade with skill and passion. Christine Williams works in secondary education, but she's also pioneering a unique form of 3D felt making.
Chris, I make felt hats as a milliner, but I have to say I've never had a go at making my own felt.
The felting itself is just using the pure wool of a sheep and using strands of it to help it entwine. So you are making that textile. It's not woven, but you're layering the textile on each other. And then you've got to agitate it like you would in your in a washing machine.
Yeah.
When it all shrinks, you think, oh my God, but you've just made a brilliant piece of felt.
And of course, you've got to add the moisture. That's the most important thing. It's wet felting, isn't it?
Wet felting, not dry, as opposed to dry felting. And it's just amazing. When I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, this is what I want to do. It's amazing.
Does it grow quite quickly?
It does. Well, it actually shrinks. So it has this elasticity, like your hair, because I suppose this hair, really, well, sounds horrible, hair, but
it is, it's sheep's hair.
Sheep's hair. And so it has this elasticity first of all, and then it will shrink and can shrink up to 40%, so you've got to be quite...
You've got to start big and go small.
And go small.
Well, I think what's interesting about you, Chris, is that, you know, there are lots of felters out there, but what's unique about what you've done is to combine it with this cane work. I have never seen anything like this before.
My background has been illustration, so it's always been, you know, a bit of paper on the floor, do whatever you, but I've always wanted to make some sort of three-dimensional thing, whatever it could be. Discovering felt, I thought, brilliant, I can do that.
It's sort of experiment, isn't it, in a way? And this basketry, again, I've seen very even basketry, very closely and carefully woven. This sort of almost looks like you've knitted it.
It was very loosely, literally on my knee, intertwining it all and thinking, oh my gosh, until it sort of came to shape. And then it was like, oh my God, I'm going to stop now.
It's growing too big.
Going too
What strikes me, Chris, is could you do this again? If you were doing this as more than a hobby, if you were trying to perhaps market something like this, do you think it would be possible?
Now that I know what to do, especially the felting time, I could do that again. I'd love to do that again.
So you're a teacher at the moment, I think, a learning support worker. Would you like to take this further?
For me, art has always been my therapy. It's one of the things that when I'm teaching or whatever stresses there are in life, I would always go and do something art and creative, and that would sort of relax me, make sure that...
There's one thing I have to try, Chris, as a hat maker.
Yes.
Do you think it could work as some sort of a hat? There's something about it, it's just made to be a hat, I think.
Well,
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it could, you see.
Could.
I would love to see this perhaps used in millinery. Perhaps that's something else you could try.
Yes, absolutely, gosh.
It's very inspiring. And then, what can I say? Chris's basket, which I suggested might be a wonderful hat. Don't know if she'd like that. But, she's used a felting method in the centre and then incorporated it into this cane. Masterpiece.
I love the aspect of showing off the craft. So for Paul Martin's Handmade Revolution, it was like, at last, bigging up the arts, as they said, I couldn't miss the opportunity.